Hello, good evening, Zambia, and welcome to our live session today. This is your friend and brother Prices-Nawa, and I just want to welcome you all. And thank you all for joining us today. We have a lot to talk about. Welcome, everybody. Let us know where you're joining us from. Sorry for the slight delay. I had to change from one small challenge to another. Technically, been on the road all day. Let us know where you're joining us from. You're welcome. Good evening. Let's talk about it. We are asking God to heal our nation right now. Join us, everybody. Good evening and welcome. This is your friend and brother Prices-Nawa. Muletumfira kwisa mukwai mulukwera kaiko kwa bulozi wa mibiza Chipata, we welcome you. Livingstone twamitambula Central Province mulibuyani mwevo mwebaswa mashi Mwachsompola, everywhere you're joining us. Good evening and welcome. This is your friend and brother Prices-Nawa. We have a lot to talk about. Let's talk about it. What is going on in our country? What is the future of our country? Settle down, tell us where you're coming from. We want to see your comments. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. We are starting just now in 30 seconds. Welcome. I greet you. Greetings from Luapula Province. It's been an amazing day for me. But remember that the blood of Jesus shall never lose its power. Let's talk. Why am I here live? We're starting in 30 seconds. How fresh, welcome. Zambezi, we welcome you in the Biu. So I wish to meet you in person. Me too. Thank you very much. Shall never give us serious. Shall never lose it. So, before I go into the NDC alliance issues, before I go into the press conference from Luansha today, I would like to talk specifically about, I want to get the issues of President Edgar Lungu out of the way. Okay? So that ngatuambo kulanda pali ashiria UPND alliance or NDC alliance, we can be clear and rest assured of the issues that we are discussing at that point. So I just want to thank everybody. Kazungula, Skabanze in Kazungula, you're welcome. Blake says Kihande. Chingola is getting us loud and clear. Priska, you are welcome in Chingola. So I was shocked today to hear that the President of the Republic has asked Consumer Commission and Protection, Consumer Competition and Protection Commission, yes, to investigate why commodity prices are high. And for me, I always get ndafulunga nako bakateka ngabambo kulanda efyaso, because I don't understand why the head of state would be shocked that commodity prices are high. Just a few months ago, just less than 3 months ago, the same person says inenda seka abantu nga baleidisha nyati fintu tafiri bwino. So if you remember, guys, about 2 years ago, I hadn't even joined politics. I hadn't even gone into the bush. I wrote something on my page which said, I said President Edgar Lungu is out of touch with the realities of Zambians. He's out of touch. Completely out of touch. He is so wealthy. I mean, and to be rich doesn't mean it's not a permission to be out of touch. There are so many people who are rich, but bali kwate chikuku na abantu. Bana nisi shemo. Bali jisi mujamba jinsi mujitonga. Bana ni bali na chifundo ku bantu. So for me, I am completely shocked that the head of state would be shocked that things are high. It is simple, Mr. President. People have no money. When you came into power, Mr. President, the economy was better than it is now. Period. The dollar has run away from the kwacha. So even things that were cheaper are expensive. How can this be mitigated? It is simple. It is very simple, Mr. President. The powers to change the people's lives in Zambia is in your hands. And this is why I always tell you Zambians, it's time for change. Why is it time for change? It's time to vote for someone who will care about your life. President Lungu is always blaming someone. Always, always. He has never taken responsibility for anything wrong in this country. Tell me one thing. Tell me one thing that the head of state has said. It's me who didn't listen to Zambians when borrowing the Eurobond. It's me who has overspent on roads at high exorbitant prices, and these roads are even cheap. It's me who had no vision. He's the one who told us that he had no vision. For once, can he just stand up and say, Vane, as commander-in-chief, Nalimirekele Shakopa Nono in this area, I've done well here and there. There's no one who is completely wrong. No one. Even this man has done one or two things. I'm sure a microscope. We will need a microscope, of course. We will need to look for the good things this man has done for this country, like we are looking for a needle in a haystack. But we shall find. But overall, this regime has been terrible for this country, because our lives are worse now than they have ever been. That is simple. That's why we need change. And how are we going to do this change? We shall put a man who we believe has a vision, has the heart, and has the care for Zambians. So for those of you who are not yet decided on who you are voting for, you need to say to yourself, do we vote for the same person who has brought us problems? Or do we vote for someone who will bring us change? Even Kaunda, after 27 years, Zambians had to say we needed change. Even in MMD, after 20 years, Zambians had to say, we need change. And now, after 10 years of Patriotic Front, Zambians are saying we need change. Why? Because the Patriotic Front, mwali temwa. Muzikonda. You love yourself too much. You guys promised to put more money in people's pockets, but you didn't tell us whose pockets those were. It was your pockets. There is not a single PF official that I know or don't know that is suffering. All of you are eating well. All of you from Kadas at Intercity, Kulimatawa, City Market, where you are all living well. All of you, Malikulanama upstairs, you buy groceries for 2 million. All of you in PF, generally speaking, you are doing well. Because contracts you are giving yourself. KCM contracts you are giving yourself. Very soon, Mopani Copper Mines contracts you give yourself. Drainages, drugs, you are the ones. I mean, say when you are Mupangama Road, everything is in your hands. That's why we need change to bring in someone who will not give contracts to cadres, but will give contracts to the rightful people. End of story. Let's go now to the issue of the elephant in the room. The issue of the elephant in the room. Let me say here, first of all, there are about 4 issues here, guys. And I'm going to provide some historical content. And may I also say, make a disclaimer that I'm so happy to be a member of UPND. I'm so happy to serve in the office of the president. I'm so happy. But the reason you see me trotting around the country, mobilizing, pushing, it's because that's who Prices-Nawa is. I'm a hustler. I'm a strategist. I'm a go-getter. I don't just set goals. I work towards them. So when you see me come live, you should also understand that that's how Prices-Nawa is. He loves to communicate with people. He loves to clarify issues. I don't like ambiguity. And I tried to stay out of this NDC issue, but because of some of the strong words coming out of NDC, in particular through my sister Savoy Imboila, who I respect greatly, I have a number on my phone. But some of the statements Savoy has said about UPND are not palatable. They're something suitable of a spokesperson. I'll say this here on air, and I'll say it when I see Savoy face to face. I'll tell Savoy, I am disappointed with you. I'm disappointed with you. If the NDC leader and the UPND leader had a disagreement under the alliance, you didn't need to bring this out in the air like that, Savoy. President Hakainde is our father also and our leader. Both men are our leaders. But Charles Mirupi is our leader. All these people, James Lukaku, all these, they are our leaders. We respect them. So when our parents have a disagreement, you are not supposed to come out like that, Savoy. Politics is about teamwork. Me, I can't come here today on air and I start insulting Bachishimba Kambwili. I can't do that. Bachishimba Kambwili is my elder brother. He's my elder brother. I may not agree with his methods at times. I may not agree with some of the things he says at times, but he's my elder brother. And if President Hakainde was in an alliance with President Chishimba Kambwili and President Charles Mirupi and everybody else, and this was called Opposition Alliance, I, as a servant in the UPND and as a servant in the nation of Zambia, I ought to support what my parents are doing. And if my parents look like they're on shaky grounds, I shouldn't go pamulabasa no kwambo kulande fintu kwa tatwale nwatipa mo. Me, I don't even believe like when people divorce that they start insulting each other just because ichupo chapwa. Yuambo kulanda ti ine mkazi wanga izotundira pa beti. Na iwe wenze kutunda. Nishinayo wenze kutunda. Because after the marriage has ended, why are you now starting to say bad things about that marriage? Savoy even went as far as saying, this was on her page 2-3 days ago, and we were just quiet. Savoy even went as far as saying she would rather vote for PF. How can you say that, Savoy? Savoy, politics is a long journey, my friend. And if it's likes and shares that you are looking for, they will never take you anywhere. Zambians read through people's character. And for you to say you would rather vote for PF, that was a disfavor to Zambians. And a disservice to the alliance. The alliance has been in existence for 3 years, Vane. And like Bachishimba Kambwili said today, I listened to his entire 47-minute press conference. I listened to it. And even Bachishimba Kambwili, I'm disappointed that you could bring such details per press conference. So now that you have brought those details outside in the open, if we will talk. Because me, I have a duty to the UPND, number one. I have a duty to the nation of Zambia, number two, to analyze what you say as a leader. And I'm glad President Hakainde Hichilema has not said anything. And I don't know if President Hakainde will say something or not. He is a president of UPND. He will be advised by Honorable Nalumango. He will be advised by so many people. When President Hakainde says what he says, we shall also analyze and comment. So, I want to say today that Bane, Ili Ashitama Alliance is not a new thing. If you go to Israel, there is a Lukuv party and other parties. They form government of national unity. If you go to Britain, Labour Party, and Conservative Party, sometimes they have to work together. You go to Paris, there is unity. You go to America, sometimes Democrats and Republicans never work together, but the smaller parties sometimes join and support the Tea Party movement, Black Lives Matter. If Yakubombera Chapamo is not a strange thing. Kaunda had a similar problem with the Kapwepwes, with the Harimwangankumbulas, and the Mainza Chonas. This problem has been there for a long time. So let us not, no one, neither Bachishimba Kambwili, neither Mirupi, neither anyone should come up and say, Iwe fusek, fumapa, wembwawe, I don't even need you. We need each other. If for sure we are saying this is one Zambia, one nation, we need each other. We need each other. And politics is about numbers. We need each other. Look at 2011 victory. Michael Sata did not win that election alone. Michael Sata had an alliance with people in 2011. Michael Sata had to work with Inonge Wina. Michael Sata had to work with Given Luvinda. Michael Sata had to work with Sakwiba Scotta. Michael Sata had to work with structures of UPND that UPND had formed in Western Province, even though their pact between Michael Sata and Hakainde Hichilema fell apart. Why did Michael Sata win the 2011 election? How did Michael Sata win the 2011 election? Michael Sata won 2011 election because Rupia Banda was killing people of Western Province. Rupia Banda was killing the people of Western Province. So, when those, if you remember the conflicts of Western Province, the people of Western Province were trying to rise up because of the Barose Agreement, a Barose Agreement which Kaunda failed to honor, Chiluba failed to honor, Mwanawasa failed to honor. Michael Sata saw a chance in Western Province, even though his 2010 alliance with Hakainde Hichilema and UPND had fallen apart. Michael Sata then came to Western Province and told the people of Western Province, amukani votera nami nabana bampo ensu na Michael Chitufya Sata nikatoeza ona Barose Agreement kona kuti nani kamifasi tulo kuli muika ulule minabanyi muzwele pili sina batu bana babulozi. In other words, Michael Sata saw a chance for an alliance in Western Province, and he went and hijacked the structures of UPND and saw the bitterness of the MMD had caused in the people of Western Province, and Michael Sata took a chance and promised the people of Western Province autonomy, independence, and honoring the Barose Agreement. That's why when Michael Sata formed the government, one of the first things he did was to appoint Roger Chongwe to do a Barose commission of inquiry to look into the issues of Barose land, both the killings, the maimings, and he used that agreement, or at least he was supposed to use that agreement, to honor what the people of Western Province had been promised by Michael Sata. What did Michael Sata do when the Barose Agreement was given to him? Michael Sata said to Roger Chongwe, because Roger Chongwe had recommendations including, listen to this, including the possible demarcation of Western Province from Zambia, maybe not physically, but at least economically. And Michael Sata said to Roger Chongwe at State House, you are the most useless man, and he literally trashed the Roger Chongwe Commission. Even though the Roger Chongwe Commission, to many scholars to this day, they are saying it is the best commission of inquiry Zambia has ever had. So Michael Sata was in an alliance with the President Hakainde Hichilema. Michael Sata benefited from an alliance with UPND, even though that alliance fell apart at the leadership level. Why did that alliance fall apart? That alliance fell apart, and I'm not saying this because I've gotten this data from the president. Please bear with me, I'm speaking here. Okay? The alliance fell apart because President Hakainde Hichilema wanted to be vice president in the alliance with Michael Sata. And Michael Sata said to President Hakainde Hichilema, Iwe, you are a calculator boy. You are a young boy. How can you want to be vice president in my party? Your party is a small party. Go away. That is how that alliance fell apart. Most of you think President Hakainde Hichilema is the one who dissolved that alliance. It is Michael Sata who said to Hakainde Hichilema, you cannot be vice president. It's my turn to be president of Zambia. You cannot even be president. It's my turn to be president of Zambia. Based on that argument, Michael Sata and Hakainde fell apart. There have been many other alliances since then. Whether it is Edith Nawakwi, whether it is MMD, whether it is NAREP, Alliance Chipimo, Alliance Chipimo, regardless of which alliance has been in Zambia, guys, the sticking point is always about presidency, vice president, period. And when I listened to the argument of Vachishimba Kambwili today, they are not convincing to me. I actually feel that Vachishimba Kambwili should have looked at the greater good of Zambia. What do Zambians want right now? Zambians want to kick out the PF. That's what Zambians want. Zambians, to be honest with you, Zambians don't even care much who is the president of this country, as long as that president can deliver prosperity, unity, love for the whole nation. But Bachishimba Kambwili, according to his press conference in his own voice, said there were two issues. One, he wanted to be vice president. Two, he didn't want the name UPND Alliance. He wanted it either Rainbow Alliance, Northwest Southeast Alliance. Bachishimba Kambwili, where do you get such names? Even if you like names. What kind of alliance? Napa ballot paper teti ikwane, North, South, East, West Alliance. Napa ballot paper teti ikwane. And in your own words, Honorable Kambwili, you said the alliance had an agreement on 99.008% of everything. So you mean, Bachishimba Kambwili, you walked away from the alliance over 0.2%. And if President Hakainde supposedly had agreed to give you the vice presidency, but you have still walked away based on the name, the question is, what do you want for Zambia? And here is a challenge to NDC. The press conference you had today, people will forget about that. What will matter is the actions you will take between now and the future. And let us assume, and for me personally, I hope President Kambwili, President Hakainde, President Milupi, I hope as an alliance they can sit and sort this thing out. I'm not commenting on the intricate details of the alliance. I'm not privy to that. I'm commenting on what Zambia wants. What we should do as a country. We should all agree that PF is not a good political party for this nation. And Savoy Imboira should not be the first one to say she is going to vote for PF. And if President Bachishimba Kambwili goes back to PF, if President Bachishimba Kambwili goes back to PF, then we will know the real truth here. It's not about the name. Because if you were promised vice presidency, because you, when you came into the alliance, you said from the beginning, even therefore vice president, we all knew that that's what you wanted. And if you were promised vice presidents, you mean you walked away over 0.02%? And if your issue with President Hakainde was over, you wanted 40%, President Hakainde offered you 40%, him he took 60%. If you look at the ratio of members of parliament that NDC has compared to UPND, UPND has 58 over 156. Let me do that mathematics. Okay? I want to show you the ratio. I can't even, I don't even have time for that. UPND has 58 members of parliament over 156. That is almost 40 something, 43% of members of parliament are UPND members. NDC has one member of parliament of Luansha. 1 over 156. What percentage is that? That is 0 minus negative 8 to the power 17 minus 14 to the negative minus what of the what percent. So you in parliament, you've got one member of parliament who over Bill 10, who did he vote for over Bill 10? Who did he vote for over Bill 10? How did that man become a member of parliament there in Luansha? Which party came to Luansha to fight for the victory of that man to become member of parliament of Luansha? Who has even deserted you, NDC? So technically speaking, you have no member of parliament. But you want this alliance to honor you with presidents or vice presidents. Even if you come in my house as a dependent, you can't sit where I sit. You can't sleep where I sleep. You can't sleep where I sleep. It is similar to Chirufya Tayari going to President Edgar Lungu and saying, Bakateka, can I be vice president? Can Chirufya Tayari be vice president in PF? Can uyu wafyamba uyu ni nani uyu? Uyu wafyamba uyu nani uyu? Green Party president. Can he be vice president in PF? Right now as we speak, PF has the problems. Over PF muisamwa, your turn is coming. Because you PF, you have KBF, Kevin Waliafube issues, you have the vice president issues, Dr. Inonge Winner. You have tribal issues. There are people in PF right now who are saying they don't want the president of Zambia, who, if in case he's going to come from PF, to come from East. They want the next president, if he's coming from PF, to come from North. So PF, you yourselves, you've got your own issues. Na convention tamulaya. If we even went to a convention and our convention was powerful, our General Assembly was powerful. So my appeal to all of us Zambians is, let us put Zambia first. If you were truly serious about the alliance and you meant well for the alliance, it didn't matter what it was called. It didn't matter. And the reason for coming together is so that there is no single vote left behind. We need everybody. But if the people that are in the room no longer want to be at the table, then we are left without an option but to move forward. And let me just say something about Shimba Kambwili. The UPND of 3 years ago, when this alliance was formed, is not the UPND of today. It's not the UPND of today. The UPND of 3 years ago is not the UPND of today. UPND is Zambia's largest party. If UPND was a small party, why did PF change the voters register? If UPND was a small party, why is PF about to vote for the cyber bill? If UPND was a small party, why are they trying to arrest Hakainde Hichilema every single day, taking him to court? If UPND was a